Hi there, I'm back with the last part of forgiveness, part 5. Now just keep in mind that these parts are just the videos parts that I've broken it into. It's not the parts of forgiveness as such, which every part has 6 steps in. So there's 6 parts of forgiveness, but 5 parts of videos. It's a bit confusing, but there's 5 videos. Let's call it 5 videos, but there's 5 parts of 6 parts of forgiveness with 6 steps each. Okay, let's hope that's better set apart. So we've finished part 4, the 4th part video. We finished it by asking, why do we do this, and is it going to help immediately? So the answer that I'm giving you today is that we do this as it is what God wants us to do. We need to forgive ourselves and the other people so that God can forgive us, as it is stated in Matthew 6 verse 14. The verse states that if we do not forgive, then God our Father cannot forgive us. Now what we can visualize through this process of healing is that forgiveness is just that, a process of healing. That 490 times, 7 times 70, we need to forgive. So see sin or unforgiveness as a brick. Now unforgiveness equals sin. So these bricks, let's call them sin bricks. When we don't forgive, it becomes a brick, as if we're going to build a wall. And that brick that we're putting down because of unforgiveness, it starts becoming a wall. A brick that a wall can be built with get stacked up one on top of each other. And so does each sin that hasn't been forgiven. And as it gets stacked, it starts to block our vision, because it goes higher and higher, of not only what is in front of us, but also what is forward into the future. This stacking up of sin causes us to be emotionally blocked up and leads to being blocked off from relationships. Our own emotions and how to deal with them, never mind the emotions of others. In other words, our emotional IQ has actually dropped. We might have a fantastic IQ, but the EQ is as important, the emotional equivalent. The emotional I can't say that, it's ridiculous. But okay, our EQ. The EQ deals with questions like, who am I? What do I like? Why do I have these emotions? How do I deal with these emotions? How do I deal with someone else's emotions if I can't even deal with my own? And your subconscious mind is the devil that reminds you unwittingly of that one or thousands of situations that you have been done in or have done something wrong yourself. Now the question that we have to deal with is it going to help immediately? The possibility is that it can have an immediate positive effect or impact. But the probability is that there have gone so many years of pain into this one incident that the truth rings more true in the next Bible verse. So Matthew 18 verse 21 to 22 says, Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And yet again Jesus answered, I tell you not 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Okay, so that's what the process is. So it might not be immediately, it might be going through a process of forgiveness before you get through your issues. Now, why 70 times 7? I'm going to start that again. Because it's a healing process that you will be going through. You forgive today, it feels good, but tomorrow comes and you remember again the injury, the thoughts, the pain. Then forgive again and again and again. And believe me, by the 490th time, you will have a loving relationship with yourself and most probably also with the other person that you have forgiven. Dealing with forgiveness is putting yourself in the first part of this forgiveness process. Remember I said in the previous video that God is first, then you, then the other person. I'm just putting it in the reverse gear and taking it from you as the important part in this, because it's a selfish selfish process. You are put in the first part of it because in this process you are allowed to be selfish. It might not be a universally accepted godly way, but if God says in His Word that you have to forgive before He can forgive you, then this process is all about yourself. It's about God mostly, but about your healing through this, and therefore you are allowed to be selfish. Not true? Right, so don't do it for the other person. They probably don't even think about you or remember that they've hurt you. They probably don't deserve your forgiveness, right? So do this all for yourself. Forgiveness, it's the right thing to do. Good. So let's leave this to conquer. I'm going to leave you here to conquer your part one of this, and that's forgiving yourself. Receive the joy, the feeling of freedom forgiveness brings, and then thereafter contact me for the other parts and how I can help you through Zoom meeting, etc. It's going to be life-changing. Be blessed.